443 right now. This is Kaukauna 41 at the Highway 55 interchange. And you can see some of our DOT cameras shaking in the wind. As that wind picks up throughout the day, it could really blow the snow across the roads and reduce your visibility.
All right, welcome back to Action 2 News this morning. It is a first alert weather day. Yesterday, we were more focused on snow, and while there is some snow in the forecast by the lakeshore, the biggest concern today is the wind and what it's going to do to us. It's going to cause blowing and drifting, near whiteout conditions, and also give us some dangerous wind chills this morning, down to 35 degrees below zero to start off your Friday. The temperatures will be rising into the positive single digits. I expect a daytime high of 5 with relatively steady temperatures and some more snow showers this evening. Speaking of snow, it is still snowing along the lakeshore, according to First Alert Viper Max, mainly Manitowoc up into Door County. And you'll see inland areas not getting as much, but you'll see near whiteout conditions as new fallen snow gets blown around by high winds, gusting around 40 or 50 miles an hour. It's a high risk of severe weather. Travel is not recommended. A winter storm warning continues across the area until 6 o'clock Saturday morning. At this hour, west winds are blowing in sustained around 20-25 miles an hour, but we do have some wind gusts around 40 miles an hour, especially around the Fond du Lac area. These winds are going to get stronger, and as they blow the snow around, visibility could become sharply reduced. Not too bad right now, but these visibilities will probably degrade as the morning wears on. These are temperatures. We're generally at and below zero in most spots, down to minus 13 in Wautoma with 8 below in Appleton. Notice in the Fox Valley, our wind chills are in the 30s below zero with 20s below zero in the north. And this is cold enough where frostbite can develop on exposed skin in about 20 minutes. So please dress warmly if you have to head out. Intensifying low pressure over top of Lake Huron is drawing in all this wind and could cause blizzard conditions across the Midwest. Most of the accumulating snow is off to the east, but we're still being lashed by some light snow showers along the Lake Michigan shoreline. We're tracking that now with First Alert Pinpoint Predictor. Let's put the clock into motion. Mostly cloudy skies today. Notice the flakes flying past Door, Kewaunee, perhaps Manitowoc counties. This is 4 o'clock in the afternoon. In the evening, some of these snow showers could cut through the Fox Valley, but in general, the snow should be winding down as we go towards this evening. Lakeside, an additional 1 to 3 inches of accumulation is possible. Manitowoc up into Door County. Inland areas probably closer to an additional ½ inch. Temperatures getting up into the single digits this afternoon with some low teens along the upper Michigan border, but it's going to feel colder than that with these west winds gusting around 40 or 50 miles an hour. The wind chills will feel a lot colder, mainly in the 30s below zero to start off the day, 20s below zero as we go towards the midday. Now we'll stop Pinpoint Predictor again here. Here's 7 o'clock in the evening. Wind chills mainly in the teens below zero, and expect those wind chills to hold pretty much there as we head towards early Saturday morning. And speaking of Saturday, your severe weather outlook drops down to the low category with watching for a possible upgrade. I'm hoping that even though it's still going to be windy tomorrow, the snow will crust over and there won't be quite as much blowing and drifting compared to today. Right now, clouds, blowing snow, 6 below in Green Bay, feels like 32 below with a west wind at 24 miles an hour. Today, Friday, fierce winds, near blizzard-like conditions, a high of 5, wind chills 15 to as much as 35 below. Chills 10 to 30 below, fierce winds tonight, whiteouts possible, 4 and holding steady. And there's the First Alert 7-day forecast with the wind settling down on Christmas Day, a high of 10 with some sunshine. Look down the line towards the middle of next week. As we wrap up this old year, we could see highs warming up to near 40 degrees, Catherine.
All right, Steve, thanks. First Alert Traffic, we want to show you the latest information from the Department of Transportation. They are basically listing the entire state as having slippery stretches. And if we go into our area, you can see it's the same for us as well. A couple of spots that have snow-covered highways, 147, for example, heading into Two Rivers, 45 through Fond du Lac. But at the very least, we are dealing with slippery stretches this morning. But as we look at our First Alert DOT traffic camera network, you see the camera shaking there? That's because of wind. And as Steve's been talking about, once that wind really gets going, I mean, it's going right now, but it could get even stronger, and that will blow the snow we've had across the road. And the conditions, as a matter of fact, are so dangerous that officials in Outagamie County have put a tow ban into place on 41 and 441. So that means if you slide off, they won't be able to get to you right away.
The winter storm is our big story today as we're taking a live look at Appleton. It looks frigid. It is frigid, and we are watching this winter storm. We have team coverage on this first alert weather day, keeping an eye on what's next for you.
Yeah, and outside in Green Bay, we have meteorologist Bo Fogel. He is tag teaming, as you can see, with Kristen Allen.
And I'm going to be doing first alert traffic, let you know what's happening on the roads this morning. This is day 2 of our first alert weather day stretch, Steve.
Yeah, it's back-to-back trouble across northeast Wisconsin, right? Well, yesterday we were more focused on the snow, and a lot of us got about 3 to 7 inches. And today the wind is the biggest headache. Fierce west winds could be gusting around 40 or even 50 miles an hour, near blizzard conditions. Whiteouts will be possible, especially in rural areas. And that wind is giving us some wicked wind chills, 15 to 35 degrees below zero to start off the day. The actual temperatures will get into the positive single digits, a daytime high of 5 with relatively steady temperatures as we head towards this evening. All right, time for our severe weather outlook. It's in the high category over the next 24 hours with gusts up to 50 miles an hour. Whiteout conditions are possible, so a near blizzard and those nasty wind chills can cause frostbite on exposed skin in as little as 20 minutes. We're still under a winter storm warning through 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. At this hour, west winds are cutting through the valley around 25 miles an hour. Gusts are around 35 to 40 miles an hour. And you see these wind speeds? They're only going to get stronger as the morning wears on. Now, as that wind blows over top the new fallen snow, visibility could become sharply reduced. Right now, it's not too bad across the area, but we'll have to keep a very sharp eye on that as the day unfolds. Temperatures right now, mostly in the single digits below zero, 13 below in Watoma with a wind chill approaching minus 40. The wind chill right now in Green Bay, 30 degrees below zero. If you have to go out today, please dress warmly. So coming up in a few minutes at 5:08, we'll have our live Skycam network, our hourly pinpoint predictor forecast, including Pinpoint Predictor's wind chill forecast. But now we're going to go to meteorologist Bo Fogel, who's live in downtown Green Bay with some details on the storm. What are you seeing this morning, Bo?
Well, to say the least, it is cold outside. We got the winds coming in from the west-northwest, and it's making it feel so cold out here. So as you said, Steve, frostbite can happen in a very short time. Now, the thing is, these winds are blowing hard, but the thing is that with blizzard conditions, it doesn't always mean that it's snowing. Blizzard just means that the winds are so strong that it's blowing the snow around, and so this can cause visibility to be very, very limited. So with visibility being less than a quarter of a mile, we got winds being sustained at 35 miles per hour or more, and this happens in over 3 hours at least. This is considered a blizzard. So later on today, we have a very good chance of seeing this blizzard criteria being met. Not only that, we already do have a couple of places reporting power outages. A couple of hundred folks are already without power, and with these winds continuing to be this strong, I wouldn't be surprised if more power goes out throughout the day, especially as these winds increase throughout the day. So please be prepared for the storm. If you have to go out, take it slow on those roads and make sure you have the right supplies for your house and your car in case you get stranded or the power goes out. But I'm tossing it back to Catherine, who's going to show us our current traffic.
All right, Yabo, thanks. First alert traffic. And so that wind we're talking about, it's really going to affect drivers the most in rural areas. As we look at the Green Bay traffic flow here, you can see things are moving along well for the most part. But look at Highway 54 heading west. You can see more yellow there. Drivers are slowing down a bit, and that's where that snow blowing across the road, open country, that's where it's most likely to happen. Look at 49 here, which runs north-south through Waushara County, slow going there. So when you head out, as these winds increase later today, be mindful that the snow could really reduce your visibility.
Catherine, thank you. A first alert update on those road conditions, because with more snowfall overnight, Green Bay road crews are gearing up for another busy day today. The city will have more than 80 plows and equipment out there on the roads, plowing about 500 miles within the city. The street superintendent will be in the command center, monitoring his crews and telling them where to go next. A full plow route takes about 8 to 12 hours to complete, depending on the weather conditions. So road crews say patience is appreciated.
Just being respectful of what they're trying to do and being patient. I mean, we obviously have a huge holiday weekend that's coming up. These guys and gals all have families too that they want to get home to. So, you know, we're going to do the best that we can, but if you can be patient, this is a big storm and we will get it cleaned up. It's just going to take some time.
Yes, they have families that they want to get to. Also, salt trucks put down some salt yesterday. But as soon as temperatures go down, way down, crews will have to turn to traction sand.
Continuing coverage on this first alert weather day, people across the country are delaying travel plans as this winter weather is becoming too much for driving and flying. Kristen Allen joining us live in Green Bay with what you can expect. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, as you can see, the snow is still falling here lightly in downtown Green Bay. We are on Jefferson Street, just across from the courthouse. And if you take a look here, I'm going to step out so you can see Jefferson Street here behind me. You can see that it is pretty snow covered. It is drivable. That snow is kind of packed down, and we have seen the plows do a couple runs up and down Jefferson Street here. So the snow is kind of removed from some of the driving lane, though it is packed down. We've seen that plow out through these downtown streets here in Green Bay. So plows are definitely out working to remove the snow. In the streets that I saw in the area, I didn't travel very far because I did stay in a hotel overnight, look to be pretty clear, but some of those back roads or lesser travel roads, of course, could have snow on them. And then as we go throughout the day today with any blowing or drifting snow, as we have said, that can make driving conditions difficult as well, so make sure that you're prepared for that or stay home if you are able to. Reporting live in downtown Green Bay, Kristen Allen, Action 2 News.
While snow is a problem today, high winds, as we've been saying, are already causing an even bigger issue this morning. Transportation officials we spoke with are advising us all to stay off the roads if we can. But if you do have to drive or travel tonight at all today, expect a worst case scenario. They also tell us salt may not be as effective due to the plunging temperatures. The city of Green Bay plans to have all hands on deck with 80 plows and other equipment taking on 500 miles of road.
Be aware of changing conditions. Expect that you could find yourself in whiteout conditions where your visibility is severely limited. The thing that you want to do in that situation is immediately slow down. Make sure that you are as visible as possible.
And earlier today on Action 2 News this morning, we talked live with Wisconsin Department of Transportation Northeast Region Communications Manager Mark Cantala. Here's his advice for travelers.
We tried to get out as soon as possible with the message that the roads will become difficult and what drivers can do if they must travel. But the way it was looking at that and the way it looks now, if you don't have to travel, just don't travel.
And we are not alone. Life-threatening cold temperatures are sweeping the nation. The weather is crippling holiday travel for millions of Americans in what could be the coldest Christmas in decades. 200 million Americans across 45 states from Washington to Texas to Maine are now under winter alerts. Temperatures in several parts of the country have plummeted. In South Dakota, for example, part of 90, the highway there actually had to be shut down, leaving more than 100 vehicles stranded on the highway. There have been over 7,000 flight delays and cancellations, mine included, with even more interruptions expected today. Steve.
First alert traffic. We want to let you know about a highway that is closed right now because of blowing snow. We're talking about County A, which you can see is just southeast of Green Lake itself. This is in Green Lake County. It's closed between County K and Highway 44. And Green Lake County Sheriff's officials tell us they had to do that because the drifts were so bad and they have several cars in the ditch in that area. And I spoke with officials in Fond du Lac County and they tell me this is just east of where we were showing you just a moment ago. Western Fond du Lac County also having some problems, although I did speak with officials in a few other counties, Waushara, Kewaunee, Shawano County. They're not yet seeing major problems with the drifting, but as we look at our First Alert DOT traffic camera network, there's certainly a potential for that. The winds sounds like they're going to increase, so don't drive today if you don't have to.
And you were talking with the DOT earlier live on our show, and they were talking about this hazardous travel, letting people know in advance so they could change their plans.
Yeah, they put out a warning a few days ago, you know, advising people all over the state not to travel, and they don't do that lightly.
No, they don't. And if you are staying home, just keep in mind the winds might cause power outages across the area, so prepare ahead. Maybe get some candles ready, you know, things that you need in case electricity goes out. Make sure your cell phones are fully charged.
But we also need to say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks for being here.